Fever star Caitlin Clark is developing a black eye in her first playoff game. Just 90 seconds into the game, Clark fell to the ground after she was poked in the eye by Sun guard Dijonai Carrington, grabbing her face in obvious pain. The poke was not called a foul, as play continued on the other side of the court. The Fever called a timeout when they got possession back, and her teammates ran to help her up and off the court. Clark didn't leave the game. She went back to the bench for a quick moment, then collected herself and continued playing.
With no whistle. Now there's nothing.
Obviously, she got me pretty good in the eye, Clark said. I don't think it affected me. I got good shots, they didn't go down. It's a tough time for that to happen.
Tell us a little bit about your eye, the hit, if it affected you, how it affected you, and through the rest of the game. Thanks.
Yeah, obviously got me pretty good in the eye. I don't think it affected me. Honestly, I felt like I got good shots. They just didn't go down, and obviously a tough time for that to happen. I got some really good looks. I felt I had three pretty wide open threes in the first half that you usually make. So that's tough, but.
By halftime, the ABC broadcast showed Clark developing a black eye. It was starting to swell too. The injury could have been the reason she struggled from the field in the first half. She went 0 of 6 from three-point range and 1 of 9 from the field for just 3 points by halftime. She was playing in obvious pain. A new video of an alternate angle of the eye poke has since emerged, which has some fans convinced that Carrington may have poked Clark on purpose. Video evidence suggests Dijonai Carrington may have intentionally hit Caitlin Clark. No foul was called. The needs to investigate immediately. Does this look unintentional to you? Another ex-user who posted the same video wrote, I thought it was entirely accidental until I saw this angle. Who does this when they bring a hand down? Barstool president Dave Portnoy noticed Carrington's nails, writing, "Why does the WNBA let players wear gigantic nails if they use them as weapons? We're lucky CC didn't lose an eye here." Reminder, no foul called, and Caitlin played with one eye the rest of game and had her worst shooting performance in months after this. Carrington's poke of Clark's eye was not called a foul, despite the protests from teammates and fans. That wasn't the only questionable call the Fever had in the first half either. They used their challenge 45 seconds into the game to protest a foul that was called on Aaliyah Boston when she wasn't near the play. That challenge was successful, and the foul switched to Lexi Hull. There were multiple instances that head coach Christy Sides thought a foul wasn't called. At one point, the referee needed to push her off the court when she was arguing a non-call. Sides picked up a technical foul later in the first half when referees called Hull out of bounds on the baseline. Erica Wheeler needed to hold Sides back from talking to the referees more after that tech. On top of that, the Fever's transition game, the up-tempo offense they like to play, was affected by intermittent shot clock issues. On 3 occasions in the first half, the shot clock did not start when the Fever gained possession. It put unnecessary stoppages in the game, affecting their flow and the style of play they have. Let's dive back into the highlights moments of the game. As the game tipped off, the tension was high. Caitlin Clark wasted no time, threading a perfect bounce pass to Kelsey Mitchell, who knocked down a pull-up jumper to ignite Indiana's offense. But Connecticut's Bonner quickly fired back, draining a three-pointer without hesitation. Clark, eager to respond, launched a deep three but missed. Still undeterred, she found Aaliyah Boston for a layup, but the ball rattled out. Carrington took advantage with a running layup, followed by Bonner's smooth pull-up three that stunned the crowd. Boston answered with a layup of her own, but Bonner stayed hot, sinking another three. Boston kept Indiana in it with a 2-point jumper. Lexi Hull earned 3 crucial free throws and sank them all with ice in her veins. Mitchell then found Boston for a silky mid-range jumper, but Connecticut's Alyssa Thomas responded with a running shot. The Sun pressed on as Bonner charged down the court for another layup. Mitchell, feeling the pressure, found her rhythm and drained a clutch three-pointer to keep Indiana within striking distance. Marina Mabry hit both free throws, but the momentum shifted when Clark, with lightning-fast hands, stole the ball from Mabry and passed it to Boston, who missed again. Clark then drove in for a stunning reverse layup, but Thomas answered with a putback layup to keep Connecticut ahead by 3. With just over a minute left in the quarter, Clark nailed 2 free throws, but Nelson Ododa came out of nowhere with a putback layup to give Connecticut the edge. Indiana fought back as Dantas drained a 3-pointer, but Thomas silenced the rally with a 2-point jumper, ending the quarter with Connecticut holding a slim 3-point lead. The battle had only begun, and neither team was backing down. As the second quarter kicked off, Damiris Dantas wasted no time, drilling a deep 3-pointer to ignite the Indiana offense. Alyssa Thomas responded instantly with a smooth jumper. Dantas, feeling the pressure, headed to the free throw line and sank both shots without a hitch. After Mabry's quick assist, Thomas nailed another jumper, and Indiana's turnover handed Connecticut's Burton a chance. She delivered with a bucket and an N1, widening the gap. Refusing to let up, Kelsey Mitchell charged down the lane, speeding past defenders for a slick finger roll layup. Wheeler stepped to the line and calmly sank both free throws, keeping the lead within 2 as the game became a fierce back-and-forth battle. Thomas powered through for a cutting layup, but Hull answered with a pull-up jumper, refusing to let Connecticut pull away. Bonner hit 2 free throws, but Dantas responded with a layup, closing the gap to just 2 points. The battle heated up. Mitchell drove to the hoop for a layup, tying the game and sending a jolt through the crowd. Caitlin Clark found Aaliyah Boston with a pinpoint pass, and Boston finished with a running layup, putting Indiana ahead for the first time. But Carrington sliced through for a cutting layup, regaining Connecticut's lead. Jones added another layup, extending the Suns' control. Marina Mabry came alive, scoring a finger roll and a running layup after another costly Indiana turnover. Mitchell, refusing to back down, hit a pull-up jumper to keep Indiana in the fight. The quarter saw multiple missed shots and fouls, but Bonner broke the drought with 3 clutch free throws, giving Connecticut the edge. With the clock winding down, Caitlin Clark had one last shot to close the gap with a 3-pointer, but it missed, and the quarter ended with Connecticut still in control. The third quarter kicked off with Connecticut firmly in control, but both teams struggled to find their rhythm, missing several shots. Marina Mabry broke the silence with a smooth turnaround jumper, but Aaliyah Boston, with a perfectly timed pass from Caitlin Clark, answered with a cutting layup. Then with a laser-like pass from Clark, Kelsey Mitchell knocked down a 3-pointer that brought Indiana within striking distance. Yet Carrington responded immediately with a driving reverse layup, followed by Bonner doing the same, maintaining Connecticut's edge. Caitlin Clark, fighting through her struggles, finally drained a 3-pointer. Still, Marina Mabry continued to stay hot, burying back-to-back threes, forcing Indiana into a deeper hole. Clark responded with a driving layup, trying to ignite a spark, but the game was slipping from Indiana's grasp. Jones struck with a cutting layup, but Boston responded instantly with a layup of her own to keep the fight alive. Carrington added to Connecticut's momentum with a smooth 2-pointer, and Mabry's lethal shooting continued with another 3-pointer that had Indiana on the ropes. The Fever seemed to be running out of time, but Clark, showing no fear, unleashed a stunning step-back 3 to keep hope alive. Carrington, after being fouled multiple times by Clark, coolly sank her free throws and followed up with a driving finger roll layup, extending Connecticut's lead even further. Clark attempted to fire back with another deep 3, but it clanged off the rim. Kelsey Mitchell, sensing the urgency, hit a running pull-up jumper, but time was running out. With less than half a minute left in the quarter, Boston powered through for a driving layup to chip away at the lead, but the relentless missed shots continued to plague both teams. As the buzzer sounded, Connecticut held a commanding 11-point lead over Indiana, with the final quarter looming, a last chance for the Fever to claw their way back into the fight. The stage was set for a dramatic finish. The final quarter began with Caitlin Clark taking a 3-pointer that bounced off the rim, but Burton capitalized, slicing through the defense for a layup. Clark quickly grabbed the rebound and passed to Fagbini, but she couldn't finish. Hull stepped up with a floater, only for Nelson Ododa to block it brilliantly. Bonner then hit a jumper, marking her 20th point and showcasing her dominance. Kelsey Mitchell responded with a driving reverse layup and an and one, sparking hope for Indiana. But Mabray was on fire, hitting a three-pointer that got the crowd cheering, then another, pushing Indiana deeper into trouble. Clark tried to respond but missed again. Mabray, fouled while shooting, converted the and one, tightening Connecticut's grip on the game. While Mitchell struggled to score, Clark's determination showed when she stole the ball and passed to Boston, who finished with a strong layup. Boston then hit an and one, briefly reigniting Indiana's hopes. However, Hull's three-pointer missed, and the team continued to struggle with their shooting. Connecticut was relentless, with Burton sinking another three-pointer that widened the gap. Dantas answered with a turnaround fadeaway, but Bonner hit another jumper, extending Connecticut's lead to 21 points. Indiana watched as the game slipped away, and with only 2 minutes left, a comeback seemed almost impossible. Mitchell managed to score, but Carrington responded with a smooth three-pointer that underscored Connecticut's control. Nelson Ododa then added a pull-up jumper and a turnaround shot. As the final buzzer sounded, Connecticut won by 24 points, leaving Indiana searching for answers in a tough loss. The game was intense, but today, the sun shone brighter than ever.